Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are going to be playing as Jim Raynor. He is a ranged assassin that in the alpha was incredibly powerful with a ton of sustain. They decided that wasn't too good. It was a little bit too much, so they scaled him back, but it went a little bit too far. And then in the most recent patch, they tried to bring Raynor back a little bit. I would like to give him another go. He genuinely, I know I say this a lot and it's become kind of diluted at this point, but he generally used to be one of my favorite characters in this whole game. I mean, as far as ranged assassins went, he was the end-all be-all. He was easy. All you had to do was stand there and shoot things and you would heal for a ton. The hardest part of playing it was microing your banshees, but I guess you can't do that anymore. Anyway, we're going to jump into a game today, and hopefully it's a good one. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on Blackheart's Bay today. I decided to switch over to the America skin on a golden mount. You know why? Because it's Labor Day, and you might as well, right? I know this is off topic, and I know I've been talking about it a lot lately, but the whole microphone setup has been a little bit more overwhelming than I thought. Just the sound quality difference between audio devices on my computer is out of this world. So I've been editing everything on the Stream PC, which I just bought a new sound card for. A really high quality sound card. I mean, everything sounds great. I really love it. And I'll listen to a track, I'll listen to the audio for one of these episodes, and it won't sound muffled at all. It'll sound exactly how I want it. In fact, I've actually gone back on some of these episodes after I've uploaded them. I'll listen to them on my gaming PC, which is the one I'm playing on right now, and it'll sound muffled, and I'll be like, well, that sounds terrible, and I'll take the video down, I'll go back, and I'll re-look at all the audio and try to rebalance it, and it'll sound great on the Stream PC. I'm like, great. That'll sound awesome. We're finally making some improvements, and then I'll upload the video, and it'll sound muffled as shit again. Just because of the sound quality difference between a high-end sound card and, you know, just a normal audio device on another PC. It's actually astounding, and it's a subtlety of YouTube that I never actually thought about before today, you know, before this whole new mic setup. And I know I've been talking about the new mic a lot, and I know we've been having a lot of issues with the new mic, and you guys are probably, number one, probably tired of hearing subpar audio, but also probably tired of hearing me talk about my subpar audio. So I'm not going to try to bring it up anymore. Just know that it is something that I'm constantly striving to improve. It's something I'm losing sleep over. It's something I heavily underestimated as far as the difficulty of what I was getting into. But it's something I'm working on. Okay, so Jim Raynor, his Q ability is Penetrating Round. We can go ahead and line this up with... Seriously, I didn't hit Vala. We can line that up with Vala, right-click on her. Or, excuse me, left-click, I guess, if you're not using SmartCast. Basically, it does damage and it knocks people back. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what we're trying to get about, too. My W ability is Inspire, which is just a small AoE buff. So you can see these guys here. Boom, we can inspire them. It increases their attack speed bonus for 6 seconds. Increases it by 30%. So it's actually a decent way at pushing waves. It's a decent way of increasing the attack damage of your team. The attack speed of your team, I guess I should say. We are going to be picking up Vampire Consult at level 4. And then our E ability isn't actually an ability at all. It's just something that passively kicks in. It's called Adrenaline Rush. It used to be called Stim Pack, I believe. But basically, when we get low on health, it's just going to heal us. And that's basically it. This is what makes Jim Raynor so appealing to new characters. Like, when people come up to me and they're like, hey, I just started, which character should I be playing? I always recommend Jim Raynor because he's just easy. I mean, there's not a whole lot of thought process to this. When you want to attack an enemy player, you hit your W. And, you know, if they're doing too much damage and you need to run away, then you hit your Q. But wait for your passive to kick in first, because it's a pretty hefty passive. I mean, we could kind of just chase Brightwing all over the place here in relative safety. And she's doing a lot of damage to me, but who cares? We're Jim Raynor. I don't care. We did pick up Seasoned Marksman at the beginning of the game. Seasoned Marksman is going to allow us to build up our auto attack damage whenever we kill minions. Basically, whenever a minion dies nearby, we're going to be generating a charge. And then with those charges, essentially, every 6 minions we kill, we get a big stack. I try to differentiate between stacks because technically they're all stacks, so I say charges for the small increments and then stacks for the actual attack damage increases. We did pick up Vampiric Assault at level 4, which goes with that talent very well. It is going to be increasing our self-sustain. Whenever we right-click on Whenever we right-click on someone, we are going to be healing for a percentage of the damage that we deal. And because we're increasing our attack damage throughout the course of the game, that heal is going to be increased throughout the course of the game too. And as we hit level 7, I did pick up Revolution Overdrive, which is going to give me a movement speed increase as well. For a while now, Raynor has been seen as a more undesirable hero because his only escape is also one of his highest damaging abilities, which is why we're building him for right clicks right now. Great job from Illidan coming in with those body blocks. Nice body blocks. Also, hi friends. I never said hi at the beginning of this game. I'm trying to make it a habit. I'm trying to start everyone out on a positive note. Let's go ahead, try to turn in. We're going to give everyone a movement speed buff here and just right-click on this Brightwing. You can see how much stupid damage that is doing. And then we can try to follow that up with a Q when they're running away. Essentially, with this build, you can build for straight Q damage. But with this build, I just try to save my Q ability for when enemies are already running away from me for that little extra oomph at the end. We're just going to focus on pushing the bottom lane, though, because there's no reason not to. Most of the enemy team is located up top, and they're not really contending with me in any way. So we are just getting completely free XP down here. Killing these structures is only going to increase that XP. The bombardment has ended, so I'm going to make my way back to middle and turn in these coins as well. Brightwing should be following suit. Illidan should be as well. We are going to be picking up Raynor's Raiders. Summon 2 stealth banshees that attack an enemy. Each banshee deals 56 damage a second and lasts for 22 seconds. You can control where these guys go now, I guess. Maybe? I actually don't know. Let's just go ahead and use them. I know we can buff them. We can buff them with our W. So let's just go ahead and we'll just trade with these guys. We'll send them in on Brightwing, switch them back over to Stitches, switch them back over to Brightwing, give ourselves a movement speed increase, dodge the hook, dodge the hook, dodge the hook. Yeah, we're basically just outdueling these guys, and it's not, it actually wasn't that hard to do. Granted, we do have a level advantage, right? So it's not like I'm over here bragging about it, but before, you used to be able to decide who the Banshees were going to attack simply by switching your attack, so you kind of had to vary up your Raynor playstyle in that way. Now it looks like you just tell the Banshees who you want them to kill. Oh, I almost walked into that one, and they'll do it. We do get another bombardment. This is going to be hitting the bottom defenses of the enemy team. And you can see there's really not much to playing this style of Jim Raynor. We're just kind of right-clicking. Positioning becomes more and more and more important, so if you want to learn to position, I genuinely do think that Raynor's a great character to do that on. Brightwing obviously has to run here, so I'm just going to stand still. And I could have backed up there, obviously, like, oh no, we need to run. But it was in a position where if Stitches wanted to pursue, he had to walk through me to do it. And I was sitting there doing completely free uncontested damage because they weren't focusing me. It's that kind of decision-making that you learn to do on Raynor. I mean, it's not a complicated play at all. And I realize that this is probably an uneventful video because I've been sitting down here in the bottom lane by myself, completely uncontested. But remember, we're also stacking up Seasoned Marksman, so the idea is that in the late game, we're gonna be doing a ridiculous amount of right-click damage just because we've been sticking to a lane so prevalently. What the fuck is that word? Let's go ahead, and this is kind of where there's a bit of a variant. Now, I said I like to save my Q ability. You could very easily pick up double-barreled here, and it wouldn't be a bad idea. So maybe our playstyle changes a little bit as we start to progress into this a bit more. Let's just go ahead and summon the Banshees. I'm not afraid of you, Zebra. I'm not afraid of you at all. And we'll bring the Banshees back here. We'll try to keep them alive. We're just going to manage our Banshees. We're going to make sure they don't die. Send them back in on Zebro here. Get some uncontested damage, and then bring them back to us. We did lose one there. So, I mean, that's still kind of a thing. That's enjoyable still. That's good. Go ahead and just buff these mercenaries with that attack speed increase and a movement speed increase, even though they're not moving. That attack speed increase can be really fundamental. Dodge the hook, 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 dodge the hook. Where's the hook? There's the hook, fuck! That attack speed increase can be really, really helpful to those mercenaries, allowing them to throw more boulders and deal more damage. Let's go ahead, get some coins. Our right-click damage already doing 205, and we're actually really, really early in this game. I actually want to get in some team fights, though. I feel like this video has been pretty uneventful. We do have a significant level advantage, though, again, because we've been getting these bombardments, we've been playing the objective, and because we've just been pushing bottom lane nonstop. Oh, the hunt! Where's he going? Oh, he's going deep. They are going to pick up a kill on 2 members of the enemy team. We have a 2-level advantage right now. Evala, I think you should go back that way, baby girl. I'm sorry. Can we send out the Banshees on Zebro here? Here we go. We'll just go ahead and push him a little bit farther away because it was the only damage that I can do. Give myself a movement speed increase, dodge the toads, and I guess we'll just continue to chase him. Oh, I think the Q actually saved him. That's my adrenaline rush kicking in, which is going to heal me back up, and then we'll just push the enemy Raynor away. The movement speed increase at level 7, oh, dodge the hook, is very, very important because it's one of the very few means of escapes that Jim Raynor has other than his Q. Which, again, you're going to be using your Q for damage. We are going to be picking up our Q stuns targets. Let's just go ahead and trade into Stitches here. We can push him into that building, which means he's not going to go very far, and then just take him out. Jim Raynor's trait does give him increased range by 20% and also a longer view distance. So a lot of people don't anticipate the fact that you can just hit them from so far away. It's actually really, really, really effective. We are going to turn in these coins, which is going to lead to another bombardment on the enemy team. This is going to be focusing on their middle tier 2 defenses. It's easily going to take down that keep. Wow, this is an absolute steamroll. And you can see, I have not been in a lot of fights at all. We only have 3 kills. But look at our hero damage. It's astronomical. And it's just from right-click damage and throwing Banshees out and trying to keep those Banshees alive. Let's go team fight here. Why not? Send these bad boys out on Vala. We can push Vala that way. We are out of position now. We need to dodge the hook. Oh, I never actually sent the Banshees out. Here we go. We'll send them in on Brightwing. Switch them over to Zebro here. We do have a pretty long range where we can tell these guys what to do. They're getting hit by the minions in lane, so we'll pull them back and then send them back in. There we go. Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all. The zombie wall is here to protect us from the hook. Alright, we need to get out of this Hyperion. Dodge the hook, dodge the hook, dodge the hook. There it is. Come on, buddy. Chase me this way. Please, chase me. Come on. Come on, I want to fight you. Oh, I'm being way too cocky here. We'll dismount Jim Raynor so he can't get that speed advantage on us. Well, let's just go get some coins then, I guess, since really nothing... No, we're engaging. We're engaging. Here we go. I'm going to try to... Oh, we're in the belly of the beast. I was going to try to push them that way, but actually I can just push Stitches back now. And then we're actually going to be relying on our self-healing quite a bit. The friendly Brightwing is coming in to heal me. The enemy Brightwing pushing me back, but she is going to be met with a hunt from the friendly Illidan. We're going to buff the movement speed of all of our allies here, allowing them to reposition more easily. I mean, this is pretty straightforward, right? I mean, there's nothing complicated about this. When you want to hit harder and move faster, you hit W. When you don't hit W. Let's see how easily I can solo a camp. We don't have our passive healing. It's on cooldown for another 6 seconds. So let's just walk in here and shoot these guys with our Q and up our attack speed. That was our passive healing kicking in. Alright, so we're taking a lot of damage here, actually. To the point that we would die if we continued. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, that could be attributed to the simple fact that we don't have enough stacks of Seasoned Marksman to actually be making a meaningful difference. I'm not sure. Not sure, really. We could finish that off, but really, we have a 3-level advantage. We don't really need mercenaries right now. Let's just go kill them. Let's just go kill them. We do get yet another bombardment. This is going to be hitting the tier 2 structures of the enemy team. Alright, here we go. Banshee's out on Vala. Now, you do have to get very close for the initial Banshee summon, but after that initial summon, you have a lot of room to work with, and you can tell them where to go without having to hit a target. So, theoretically... Oh, I cannot control them while I'm in the belly. That's interesting. Theoretically... Great ultimate by the enemy Brightwing. Theoretically, I could tell these guys to scout for my team in a perfect world. Now, the difference between the Banshees now and the Banshees before... I'm saying way before, I'm not saying this most recent patch, is the fact that you have to summon in the Banshees on a target, which does make them a little bit harder to use. Previously, if you wanted Banshees, you just hit R, and there they are. But now, you actually do have to have a target in range, which means you have to actually be a little bit more ballsy with your Raynor play. You do have to get up close and personal with people if you want to use that ultimate. Or, I suppose, in a perfect situation, let's say a fight is about to start, you could summon them in on a minion, and then control them from the minion. Because once the Banshees are out, they do have a... Did he octo-grab into the base there? I don't think Murky can move. Once they have been spawned, they do have the range of just about Sergeant Hammer with her graduating range. At this level, we are going to be picking up Nexus Frenzy. It increases our attack range by another 20%. That stacks on top of our passive. And it also increases our attack speed by 20%, which again stacks with our W. So we're able to give ourselves a 50% attack speed bonus, which is just easy. It's just easy mode. Let's go ahead and summon in the Banshees. Get some extra damage out here. Hopefully Brightwing comes to assist me, because I am kind of doing this by myself right now. Murky is coming in. He's going to be able to tank for me, at least momentarily. We need to get out of those roots. We can buff him with our W. We almost killed half of that boss by ourselves, though, and we only have 18 stacks of Seasoned Marksman. Seasoned Marksman should mostly be used, let's say this for the record, it should mostly be used on long maps. Maps where the game, maps where the game can proceed for quite some time. So Cursed Hollow or the Garden Terror map. Great maps to have Seasoned Marksman on. Just because you know you're going to be there for a while. You're in for at least a 25-minute game in most cases. Blackheart's Bay, as you can see, if your team gets ahead, it's kind of easy to stay ahead, actually. So, Seasoned Marksman, we're not really going to see much benefit of it. I know previously with this, or with a build similar to this, I was able to actually hit for like 700 with a right click on Raynor. I don't think we're going to get to that level at all. No, we're not going to get anywhere close to that level with this particular build anymore. Too many changes have happened since then. Brightwing coming in with the bribe is going to take over this mercenary camp. So what would I recommend picking instead? You go with Give Me More, which is going to increase your lane sustain. Again, sustain stacks with sustain, so it's still good to go with your level 4 talent. I don't think that's a bad choice at all. Alright. We're going to push with this minion wave. Nazebo coming in from middle if he wants to contest us. We do have the Banshees ready for him. Let's just send out Banshees here. Why not? Reposition them onto Zebro. Our positioning is pretty shit. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness me. But hey, we got out of there. Our Brightwing is doing a pretty good job of keeping us alive. Let's boost our movement speed. I do love the way the vents on the back of Raynor look when you boost your movement speed. Look at this. Look at it. I think we just got another bombardment. Boom. That looks sick. That is another bombardment. The enemy core is at 52% right now, so there's no way that they can come back from this. We are once again in the belly of the beast. Doesn't matter. No, he actually saved me from some Hyperion damage there. Looks like we are going to die, but the game ends before we do. That was a steamroll. So what do we think of Raynor? His sustain is significantly lower than before. He does require the use of his Q in order to get high auto attack damage output. At least that's what I could tell from that right there. Could we have really done anything different? We could have. We could have done Giant Killer into Berserk, which wouldn't have been a bad idea at all. Yeah, this was more of a hybrid build than a right-click and win build. But having a stun on Raynor could be very powerful. Is it, though? I think you just use it for the damage increase. Yeah, he's kind of still in a weird spot, isn't he? Because if I want to deal that 800 burst damage from my Q ability, I have to push the target I'm wanting to kill away from me. Which means that it's harder to kill that target because they're away from me. Unless we push him into a wall or something. His sustain is not as high as it used to be. I don't feel like his right clicks hit as hard as they used to. And a pivotal part of the old right click and win build was the fact that you would be able to slow down the enemy team with your W ability. And you can't do that anymore, can you? That's why we're hitting so much weaker. That's why. I mean, you would get all the same early game talents, and I think at level 13, you could slow them with your W, slow anyone in the area, and then Executioner would make your auto attacks deal 40% more damage. That combo isn't in the game anymore. So that's why he relies on his Q more. I get it now, I get it! But then again, you're just pushing people away with your Q, and it kind of sucks. So maybe full right click's the way to go. I don't really know. Raynor's still kind of in a weird spot. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. This video was an absolute steamroll. I mean, it was pretty casual. Pretty fucking casual. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.